Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M10 RBFM, the Tier 5 French premium turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Westfield, and it's under the command of Hetz's Gonna Hetz. And he's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of his gun, so he obviously loves this vehicle. Game on. Well, it is a superb vehicle. Originally, they cost $47,900 each in 1942. Well, they did build 6,406 of them, so the price came down. It had a Crew 5, the 3-inch M7 naval gun. Is it a naval gun? No, I think it's just a standard army gun with an M7 variety. It's not 76, but that's the equivalent. So, yes, 76mm is the caliber. It's capable of doing 115 alpha, 130mm with standard ammo, with the premium APCR 170mm. Okay, so standard reload 2.97 seconds, and wow, that's good. Hetz is gonna Hetz. It's got 2.5 seconds per shot. It really does help if you've got a really good crew. All brothers in arms, everything you need. Food, he's got food on this one. Coffee and croissant. Just checking, doing a pull back to just have a quick all-round view. Now it looks like the enemy have got a KV-222 who's decided to commit suicide by just driving straight up the valley, and he's now being pounced on by, well, about half a dozen tanks. More than half a dozen tanks. We've got very few tanks up this end of the map. Oh, and he's had to pull forward because that Skoda suddenly appeared from an odd angle. But he's already starting to plug the rounds in. Got a track, so he's burned his repair kit. And yes, he got the kill. Now, got 1 round into the Skoda T24, but he managed to pull back just in time. You can always tell if they've burnt their repair kit. Because all of a sudden they'll hesitate, and then all of a sudden they'll start moving again. And we've got a teammate in the M10 RBFM alongside us. Now, yes, that does help when it comes to fire rate, but I'm not so sure that he's actually going to be beneficial to us. So we're changing position just a slightly. Mind you, he might get spotted even at this range if any enemy do come over the hill. They're very reluctant to do so. Tier 5 game with Tier 4 tanks in it. That KV-222 on the enemy team has bit the dust, so he's gone. They've spotted another enemy tank way over in the corner. It's a BT7, Booster Tanky 7, or Shim. Okay, another change of position. I have the feeling he thinks there's nobody over this side except maybe a tank destroyer. He should be cautious at this point because he's starting to come into the arc where the tank destroyers are able to spot anyone. If his sixth sense goes off, he needs to dive for cover quick. But it looks like the enemy have misplayed this one tremendously bad. Now, is he going to get spotted? Well, not so far. There are some enemy over there. Now, that guy is way over, right on the edge, and he can get shots from here. Oh, there was a tank destroyer over here. So Valentine, he knows he's been seen. He got a critical hit into the tracks, but he needs to get the shells into the gun shield, not the tracks. Now, the gun depression on this vehicle is 10 degrees, so yes, he should be able to get fairly good angle on that Valentine because he's got very poor gun depression compared to this one. Okay, our guys coming over to help. Only the one kill so far. He's making his teammates do most of the work, but there's nothing wrong with that either. It means you stay alive for longer. I know a lot of top players say that part of the game, the whole thing about the game, is actually trying to stay alive as long as you can in the game, because then you're going to be there at the end of the game to actually finish it off. And the more hit points you've got at the end of the game, the easier it is to take out the enemy tanks, which have got very little hit points left. Well, it looks like the enemy cap is ours. Ah, no. Spoke too soon. That is a Panzer Pumpier. Yeah, it's the premium tier 5. Those things are deadly. In fact, actually, just the other day, they were pointing out, I think it was, maybe Steve actually, Steve Walsh, was pointing out that this is one of the best tier tanks at that tier, because it is just so deadly. It's got a fantastic fire rate, decent damage. Well, he got some damage off that one. Now the Matilda. Of course, the 76mm rounds will go straight through that. Oh, there's the Pumpier again. So he did pick the right spot to come up on, because the Pumpier can't really see him from this angle. Not with all these trees in the way. And even that Matilda is just moving slowly through the village. He's lost sight of the Pumpier. He's just taking a look every now and then, make sure he doesn't get outspotted by that guy. I mean, this might be the OP tank destroyer at tier 5, but the Pumpier is definitely the most powerful medium at tier 5 for sure. And there he is. He did try to outflank us, but he didn't get away with it. But actually, I think now, what Hetz is going to do is he's going to try and outspook this guy, or at least outflank him by pulling back to a killing zone, which forces him to put himself in a vulnerable position. And the way he might be able to do that is by staying a little further away. Here he comes. That's it, gets the first shot in. He can't lower his gun, you see. Now he's lowering his gun, but now he's got the advantage. Oh, and we did take a ram, but our rounds are going to punch through his hull, and he wasted that premium medium. And yeah, he's almost celebrating by rubbing himself backwards and forwards, but it's actually that he's trying to stop the Matilda from getting shots into him. He did hit with one. In fact, he's hit with two, but neither of them penned. That one did. He got a high roll. And he gets the kill shot! So down goes the Matilda. There's only 3 enemy left. Unfortunately, they're down in the valley. The only ones we can see are the MX-40 and the Matilda. The one that's missing is the Wolverine, but it does appear that he's probably a noob. Okay, so there's only 2 of us left on our team now, 3 on the enemy team. He's trying to get up speed. Top speed on this tank is 48 kilometers an hour. Of course, it was very light because it didn't have much in the way of armor. 38.1 millimeters on the front of the hull, 19.1 all the way round, and the top of the turret, front of the turret is 57.2, 25.4 on the sides and the rear. Didn't have much power either, 410 horsepower, and that's because of course it was the standard diesel engine that they used for these. I think it was the General Motors. Ah, got the Wolverine now, and that guy looks AFK. Yeah, I think he's given up the ghost, and this is going to be a nice easy kill. Oh, he is still alive, but he just wasn't reacting, and he's out the game. So that's a nice clean kill. And I did see the high caliber designation flash up, so he could actually have the high caliber, or at least he has 20% of the enemy hit pool. That's what we know. Now the MX-40 is not particularly fast. He's just poking his nose out to see if he can see the guys. The AMX-40 was down in the valley, and the Matilda's down in the valley as well, but they're very slow tanks. So he could definitely outmaneuver these guys. They only made 36 M10 RBFMs, and they were specific. The French wanted a sextant so they could actually do indirect fire. And considering they were actually French Marines tanks, they were actually tied to the Marines, or at least they worked with the Marines. And the French Marines would obviously call them up for help whenever they came across an obstacle. And sometimes the only way to do that is by actually indirect fire on the enemy. Many times in battle, M10s were actually seen with strewn shell cases all around them because they were actually doing indirect fire, and they just brought pallets of shells and just started lobbing them into the cap. We're running short on time. This is going to be a close one. 10 seconds left to get a reset, or we're in deep doo-doo. Oh, he got the AMX at distance. Oh, that was, I think, virtually on the mark, on zero. And there's the Matilda, and he's taken up residence in front of the AMX. That's the worst place to be. He should be behind him. AMX has got much better armor, but it didn't help him, and now the Matilda is in loads of trouble. He's moved behind the house, which is the smart move, because at least then he's got something solid blocking him from the M10. Of course, now Hetz has got a Hetz, or Hetz gonna Hetz, I should say, is going to have to work out how he's going to approach this one. He could go over the other side of the valley and approach from a different direction. The Matilda might actually see him coming though, because he would definitely be inside the Matilda's view range. I have the feeling that he's decided that he's going to actually go around, and the Matilda's gone back into the cap because he can't see the M10, and therefore he's probably thinking to himself, we're running short on time, I have to get a cap on. Of course, if he's gone around the front of the house, then we have to go all the way down into the cap to get a shot on him. Because from this angle, he can definitely protect himself, and if we try to shoot from the heights down into him, he'll just do exactly what he did before and pop around the back of the house. Of course, all of this is going to earn him a Defender medal. I think he's already got that when he put the shot into... Oh, he can see the rear of the vehicle. Okay, but if he pops out from behind that bush... Oh, there he is! Got him. Okay. First shot into the rear. Hits the engine. Tracks him. Keep pumping the rounds in. Go for it. Well, it looks like he burned his repair kit. Oh, he was still alive. And that wins the game for Hetz's gonna Hetz. Fires one round in celebration. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Hetz's gonna Hetz in the M10 RBFM. He managed to get a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, as well as a 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. A high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, so he did get it, as well as a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. Yes, the Matilda was the 6th. And he got a Defender medal for resetting the cap, getting at least 70 defense points. Well, I think he got the full 100, actually, because he reset not just the AMX-40, but also the Matilda, and enough times to make it certain that he did get the Defender. And his win rate from the game, 13,256, which is Super Unicum and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he got 2,568 hit points of damage. You can see how OP the Fumfier is. He got 2,052 hit points of damage, second place. Third place went to the M4 Hydrostat with 1,701. When it came to kills, it was, yes, Hetz is gonna Hetz got 6 kills. 4 kills went to the Hydrostat, and 3 kills went to the Cruiser 4, the Matilda, and the Wolverine on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So yes, he's got the top in all 3 columns. And there was only one other tank that actually did go over 1,000 base, and that was the Panzer IV Hydrostat, who got 1,044. When it came to details, 46 shots fired, 35 direct hits, 25 penetrations. You get 65 rounds of ammunition. So he wasn't in fear of actually running out of ammo. And in fact, he was using it very conservatively because as far as I could see, he was not just blasting away. He was picking his shots at the right moments. And 2,568 hit points in total, of which 1,708 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see he did 800 hit points at close range. 5 hits received from the enemy, 3 penetrations, 2 non-penetrations, and 110 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That was one of the shots that came from the Fumfir, I think, the 110. At least I think it was. He certainly did get hit by 1 round from the Fumfir. And 5 hits in total. Well, he did receive a few rounds through the front of the vehicle. I'm not sure which other one he actually... Oh, it was the Matilda, wasn't he? He got hit by the Matilda in the side, and the Matilda was trying to get shots on him as he was hiding behind the wreck of the Fumfir. 2 enemy vehicles spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, 118 hit points of damage assistance, and 100 defense points when he reset the cap. Thinking about that 110, by the way, that's 2 shots because that's 2 shells from the Matilda, 55 each. So yeah, that was the shots that were blocked when he was trying to get hits on him. 18,600 credits profit from the game. He actually got personal reserves and he got a reward for completing the mission events. Yes, this game happened just at the start of it. 25 bonds for an achievement, for a mission achievement, and 6,081 experience points altogether. That was a nice clean one, and you can see why Hetz has got a Hetz does actually have 3 marks of excellence on this vehicle. It's one of the more fun tank destroyers to actually play in the game, because the more skill you build up in this thing, the more deadly you become. And then battles like this do tend to happen quite a lot, because of course you are the OP player on the game. Obviously, if you do go into a battle and you do find there's a Fumfir around, take special notice. That guy did manage to sneak up on Hetz's Hetz. Thankfully, he did check his quarter and saw that guy coming. If he'd actually been caught out, that the Fumfir might have got a couple of rounds in, and that could have made his life a little more interesting, as you say. But no, he didn't let that guy catch up on him. And in fact, once he saw him sneaking up, he actually set up a trap for the Fumfir, and it worked very well because the guy had to come over the rise. And because his gun depression is slightly worse than the M10's, Hetz was going to get at least 2 shots into the guy before he could get 1 shot into him, and that was going to give the advantage to Hetz, and it worked. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.